How's my hair?
What hair?
Thanks.
You receding.
Nice. Evelyn and Livy and I are going to find out how's the hike on the Fundy Footpath. Nice to be underway. This year, opposite direction for us. Logistically, we had to start in the St. Martin's area and head to Fundy National Park. Really excited. Not a big day for us, kilometer-wise. It's gonna be a little, it'll be tough.
We did triple this
on the foothills, yeah. But so about 8 kilometers to Sealy Beach. That's as far as we're going today. We got a late start because we had to get out here, and we took our time. Had to make a couple stops. But I just want to say I'm pretty excited because a month ago I was on the West Coast Trail, and now this month I'm on the Fundy Footpath, which I kind of jokingly call the East Coast Trail.
You was on the West Coast Trail without us?
Without you, yes. You were doing exams, which you did exceptionally well, so it all worked out. So we're on our way to Sealy. Pretty excited. Well, I thought that would be a set of stairs we were going to take, but it is not, and we're happy about that. We're going this way. We did get to some stairs. Not too bad. Wow, that's steep, and just because they think you're going to have some fun, little trail humor, right there. Nice. We just had a nice little break, a couple benches. Always nice instead of sitting on your backpack. Olivia had a little camelback water issue, needed to be fixed, and a little chilly breeze off the bay. So we got up and got moving again. A nice leisurely couple kilometers for us so far. When you've only got 8 to do, really no need to rush. Ooh, flashback. I just had a flashback.
Do you say West Coast Trail one more time? I swear to God.
West Coast Trail.
Dad!
Well, we think that's weird. I mean,
There's
obviously you...
specifically wrong with that water.
Maybe this particular brook has a problem, but you know, you got to do this. Folks do this with all brooks, streams. I mean, it's just common sense. We don't boil, we filter, but... Okay, you saw that sign a minute ago. There are a couple campsites right here, a couple kilometers from the St. Martin's end. Nice little spot, actually. Yeah. So if you just wanted to come in, or if you were trying to time a drive, a couple kilometers left, you could park it here for the night and get your drive the next morning, however it works, if it was late in the day. So, because... Yeah, very cool. There's even a privy here, outhouse. So, neat. Well, pretty typical lunch for us. Quick and easy, pro bars. And almost halfway to where we'd like to stay tonight, so good time for a break. Found a log to sit on, which is always nice. And sit here and have a break and head out.
So just a tip, if you are hiking like super long distances, and this hike isn't like really long, but like if you are, I get so sick of these after like 4 days, and I'm like, I need like fruit. Obviously you can't have fresh fruit, but like, so get a variety or you're gonna die, because I literally get so sick. I like pack the peanut butter ones because like, ew, fruit, but pack a variety.
Good advice. better than the Korean boy band. All right, we're halfway, more than halfway to Sealy here at Long Beach. This is the extension of the Fundy Trail Parkway, I think. There's people. So the real wilderness experience starts after this. A lot of debate about all of this extension out here in what used to be a completely untouched coastline. And it isn't anymore.
But we're happy that people get to look at it.
Evelyn says we're happy that people do get to look at it. At least she is. So we'll leave that debate for others. Okay, little tip. You come up the stairs from the civilization, don't go hard left. It takes you up to the falls. We absolutely missed this routing here.
Please don't, it hurts.
Yeah, so
It hurt me emotionally.
not cool.
It was my fault, I take full
I think, to be honest, maybe a little better marking there would be good.
a lot better marketing.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna blind
something
you.
a little brighter.
It was partially our fault.
Of course it was our fault, but I mean, when three people all go the same way because they see an arrow, you know. Anyway, we're back on the route, but just if you come up those stairs from civilization, really look hard for the Fundy Footpath. It does not go up toward the falls or the road or the people. Oh look, a sign that says the Fundy Footpath. I think maybe that would probably be better back there. This is pretty cool. All that rock up there. And we're on the beach. Sealy Beach. Just gonna find where folks usually camp up here and have a nice leisurely late afternoon and evening. 8.2K from the trailhead, almost 9 for us from the car and from the detour. So Martin Head up there, we've been there. Excellent.
So we have decided to camp here, and we have our tent on. We chose this place because out of everything, this was kind of the flattest area, even though it's not very flat. And there's a big camp, there's a big fire over there with a bunch of logs, so I think we're gonna eat over there. And the bear box is over there.
It's over there too.
And the outhouse is over there, even though it's not really an outhouse, it's kind of like
a hole.
3 walls and a hole. That's fine.
It's good, it works. It's all good.
And the tides come in a lot, and it's very windy, and I think it's around 20 to 30.
30 kilometre-an-hour winds.
Yeah.
We don't really know what that is in miles per hour.
No.
So I'll flash it on the screen here for you right now. But very breezy, and right off the Bay of Fundy, so it's chilly. We're wearing puffer jackets.
Yeah.
Do have some company here tonight. Some fellows are going to try to do it in 3 days, and we've had our snack. We're going to go get some more water and have supper. Dinner time, and man, is it cold. The wind is whipping off the bay, and we're trying to eat so we can then just go hide in the tent. So chicken fried rice for me, love it. What you got there, Liv?
Chicken eatable. I haven't tried it yet. It's really hot.
Let's do this right now.
And this is all the brand Mountain House.
Yeah.
And we really recommend the chicken fried rice. Way to put it close.
What'd you say there, Ivy?
I said we recommend the chicken fried rice.
We do.
It's good.
Yeah.
And Olivia, how's that?
All right, real quick, taste test, and then we're gonna get packed up in our warm tent. What do you think?
It's good, but it's crunchy.
Crunchy, not ready yet.
Do you think birds sneeze? I literally just thought of that. Birds bugs here. Bugs here. Are you sure? Do birds sneeze though? For what reason? Like they have the little beaks and they go achoo, you know? For what reason would bugs here? To hear predator. They have antennae.
Well, that's the end of day one. What you think, guys? Pretty decent 8.2 today, huh?
Yeah, I expected there to be a lot more up and downs, but there was actually a fairly good flat portion.
Yeah, this end of the trail's quite different than the other end of the trail, which we're heading toward. And we just spent a considerable amount of time, instead of our usual playing cards, of trying to figure out mileages because I mean, it's a well-known fact that the map, the old map, is not totally accurate when you look at it.
It's completely botched.
It's a distance.
Yeah,
the distances aren't anywhere.
We had to calculate our margin of error.
We were doing like calculus here, trying to figure out how far it is. Well, fortunately, we do have mileages from last year that we were able to input as well, but from the other direction, and you know, so. So we're not sure how far we're going tomorrow. We're going to get to where? Little Salmon River?
At least. Or
and assess where we are at that point, see if we can get to Wolf Brook maybe, and push forward. We definitely have to be out of here on Sunday for our pickup in Fundy National Park, so it would be nice to be positioned at Rose Brook, or maybe even at that primitive campsite right on the boundary there in the kilometre zero Fundy Footpath. So, good night. So we'll see you tomorrow morning on day 2. Morning, day 2, Fundy Footpath. We usually put our backpacks under the vestibules, but the weather forecast has been fantastic and dry. But then the moon went away, and it's just been decided that apparently I usually carry the rain flag. So that'll be fun. So first goal Little Salmon River, second goal Wolf Brook. Is that right, Evie?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's just after 7, like 7:15, so we're gonna get up and at 'em and see what this day has in store. All right, just after 9 o'clock and we're underway, heading up the beach. Gotta find a trail, and then it's gonna be a real fun uphill back into the woods. And Little Salmon River for sure today. And if we're not dead, tired by the time we get there, we may push on. Although that's one of the highlight places. So we're just gonna wait and see when we get there. Gorgeous morning after that rain last night, which wasn't forecast. So there's those fellas that moved on last night. Okay, cool, we're off. Another nice campsite at Sealy, where we stopped to talk to a fella you just saw in the last clip. Really nice spot. So there's 2 places with outhouses and bear boxes. And that one's got some spots for some bigger tent pads. So where we were last night would be a hammock paradise, but not so much for tents. Anyway, just wanted to show you, you walk up here, there's your entrance to the climb. Just beautiful here though, really, really nice. More stairs. I certainly prefer these to switchbacks.
Not sure I do.
But they're still hard. Oh, jeez.
You're gonna fall.
Oh, a little flashback to your mother on the Foothills Trail.
Don't plug our other videos.
Speaking of switchbacks, there's the old trail right there. And if you turn around and look this way, there's there's a double blaze there to tell you it's going to take a funky turn. So these stairs are a nice improvement. How'd you do?
Fine.
Oh, yeah, it was easy, huh?
Like breeze.
Yeah.
Just floated up those stairs.
Well, we're coming up out of Cradle Brook. Some nice camping here as well. Pretty sure this is primitive though, with no outhouse and no bear box, but no big deal. Hang and go dig a hole.
It's really flat tent pads.
Yeah, and we have that 4-person with us, so we need some room. So that would have been good. Anyway,
Could never have done it yesterday.
no, we could not have. The climb begins. All right, just a couple of 3 kilometers from Little Salmon River, which is our destination for tonight. And trail changing here quite a bit, from regular kind of track to rocks, moss, kind of cool. Saw some other hikers. It's a Thursday and in June, so interesting to see, you know, quite a number of other folks out here using this trail. I also got some great information from guys coming the other way about, you know, trail conditions, kind of what's going on ahead and all that sort of stuff. It's always helpful. Whew. Okay, we've just come across the Macumber Brook access up that way. And of course this is, we've come 15K from Big Salmon. And Little Salmon's 2.9, and that's our destination. So still a ways to go, but it's early in the afternoon, so we've lots of time to get there. And yeah, onward. Well, that sign indicates we're finally getting into the Little Salmon River area, which is cool. Probably just under 2 kilometers for us from this point. And not too bad walking actually after we get up out of Cradle Brook. Well, I mean, well, wait, once we get up out of Cradle Brook.
Like completely.
Yeah, completely. This isn't too bad. So we know there's rough patches ahead, especially tomorrow morning. So we're going to enjoy this and get ourselves into camp. All right, we're coming down to the Little Salmon River. This is great. There's actually a campsite right here on the right for, well, a few campsites actually, at least 2, maybe more. 2 for sure. So nice spot if you're heading the other way and you want to you know, have a non-wet start in the morning. We're going to actually head up and see if we can get across river to a nice spot we know of across there, and maybe it's vacant and we can have it. Well, we've explored. Took us a little bit to find where the bear boxes and the privies were. They're actually in the woods. We could camp down here, and we decided we don't want to be out in the hot sun, and it's hot now. So we're going to go up in the woods, which is very nice as well, and hang out up in there, closer to the bear boxes and the privies, so we can use those and not have to hang anything. I'll show you that in a sec. One more set of stairs. We know there was a group in here last night from a local high school. We're glad they're on their way.
We like high school kids.
We do, because you're both high school kids. Sometimes they're a little noisy. All right. Go up here and show you the sign.
Wow.
Let's find a campsite. As you know, you've seen me shave. Well, you haven't seen me shave. You've seen me before and after shaving, which I did not do today. But when you're out here, you have to, you know, take care of yourself. And Evelyn is...
This is so cold.
Evelyn's washing her hair. Find a little spot you can lean over, and I mean, I couldn't do what she just did. But nice push-ups.
Thanks.
All right, little look around camp. Food area over there. Solar panel catching some last rays over there. Down there's the brook where we've cleaned up. Showed you Evie a minute ago doing her hair. A little more water going down. And then Olivia set up a tent tonight. And I have to say, I think she's done herself. Outdone herself. It's so lovely, darling. It's turned down and everything.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Very beautiful. Very nice. A record, I'd say, wouldn't you?
I could have done better.
Oh, please. All right, we're going to have some dinner before we get eaten alive, and then maybe have a fire and retire early so that we can get an early start tomorrow. Dinner time. Italian-style pepper steak. You know I like this one. What are you having, ladies?
I have beef stew. It kind of reminds me of shepherd's pie, which is sad because I wish I was eating shepherd's pie. Hi, Nan. But, yeah. And while we're on that note, hi, Norma and Richard. Go ahead, Olivia. What are you eating? Chicken fried rice. Like I had last night. It's really good. Please get it.
It is the best one. Made by,
Mountain House.
we sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just couldn't see it because I ripped off the lid. But yeah, it's really good, and it takes like less than 10 minutes to make, and you can eat it right out of the bag.
Look, if you're going to come out here and hike and be in pain for most of it, you really want to eat stuff you like. So just buy stuff you're gonna like. I can't handle spicy food, so if I ate like the chicken fajita, I would be here like, no.
I had chicken fajita thing last night.
Yeah,
Really spicy, and I don't mind spice.
So
Jeez.
you gotta get something you like. This is like the highlight of our day.
No.
Yeah,
Ritz peanut butter
Ritz
crackers.
crackers.
That's
right.
the highlight of my day.
Gonna finish dinner and maybe have a little fire and go to bed. Because big day tomorrow. That's the end of day 2. We hiked about 10 kilometers today and stayed here at the Little Salmon River area. What's the brook called here?
Ridge? Nope.
I'll flash it on the screen.
Something with a D.
No, it was like an R. No, it wasn't. Never mind. That was another one.
Okay,
Some
hang
access.
on. Flashing it right now. And I had a nice evening, had a nice dinner, did a lot of chores, get ready for the morning. We're going to get up early. Had a little campfire too, and yeah, we're going to get up early and try to push through. We have to get to Quiddy River tomorrow. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But if we get there early enough, and we have no idea because I didn't do any trip planning for this in this direction this time, then we might push on to Goose Creek. Well, we'll see. That way we could sleep in Saturday morning really late and wait for the tide.
Like 1 o'clock late.
And anyway, so I don't, well, you'll know tomorrow. So thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Morning. Day 3. Good sleep. Cold. Can't really see my breath, but I wasn't prepared for the cold in my sleeping bag. Wasn't quite appropriately attired. So it was a bit chilly this morning. Girls are just packing their stuff up and we're up for an early start. Sun's up, but it won't hit this side of the cold sink ravine for quite a long time. So we're just going to get up, have a quick breakfast, and get on the trail. Obviously, Quiddy River is our must, and you know, if we feel good when we get there, we'll look at the distance somehow. Try to maybe even get to Goose, but we'll see. can't cross Goose tomorrow till about 2 o'clock anyway, so due to the tides. So either one's fine. But expecting it to be a little rough out of here this morning on between here and Wolf. So yeah, a little coffee, a little breakfast, and on we go. Well, we're underway. Early morning. It's probably, it is freezing, although I've taken my puffer off because I know that the old man's going to start to sweat here instantly. Sun's up, but we're not going to see it for a while, so make our way up the hill, and first highlight of the day is Wolf Brook. And that'll be a good milestone for us. So yeah, Quiddy River or bust. Beautiful view from back there. Just so you know, if you go look for that view, there are 2 red dots on 2 trees to let you know that's not the trail.
And there is a cliff.
And there is
Please don't.
a steep drop off. We actually made the error, but we're glad we did because we got a great video and some great pictures. So now we're still on the steep climb.
But where's the...
And we're looking for trail markers. We'll find them.
I'm going.
It's up this way somewhere. We've done 1 kilometer straight uphill. It took us an hour. And about 200 meters, so 600 plus feet. That was fun. No? Okay. Yeah, so now it's just basically across this plateau and then down and then up again and then across and down, and Wolf Brook's on the way and all that sort of stuff. So we'll have to see how we do. I'm actually going to sit here now and see if I have cell service, because a note, Gaia GPS, awesome, but without cell service you can't trip plan with a snap to the trail type of point-to-point planning. So that's an odd omission from the app. So we'll have to see if I can get some cell service now so we know exactly what our distances are to Quiddy and to maybe Goose. Wow, this descent is a lot more fun than what we did when we started this morning. We just met a really nice guy from Pennsylvania and his beautiful white husky dog.
I don't think it was a husky. But
Oh, you don't think it was a husky? Okay, I'm sorry. We're not sure what breed your dog was, but it was great to meet you. He was coming from Wolf Brook and probably on his way to Sealy tonight. Should be a pretty big day, but he's a lot fitter than I am, so nice shout out to you. Nice to meet you. And we're picking our way through the mud now. Our drop into Rapidy Brook with the nice new bridge. If you have the guidebook that's currently out, it will tell you have to cross here. And that's how old the old guidebook is. Good news is they're working on a new one, because the one is pretty outdated. I hope the new one has proper distances on the map, not just linear, but actual GPS track distances. But this is a beautiful bridge. Crossing here, holy crap, would have been an interesting feat. I think it looks like you used to cross over there, right over there. This is better. All right, off we go.
Why? That's the question.
Wow, first a pot, now that. If that's your sweatshirt, we found it. Well, a steep descent as always, this time down into Wolf Brook. If I can, I'll show you what we see. We're going to head to the other side and sit in the shade. Have a little break.
Oh, that wouldn't have been good.
All right, we're successfully across, and here is the campsite at Wolf. Trail's going that way. Beautiful. We're just gonna head up in here, have a little break.
Well, this is a nice,
Nice spot. Very nice spot. Gorgeous, gorgeous Wolf Brook. If you're coming from the campsite we had lunch at, come down here and look for these, and you'll hit the trail up here. There's actually a bit of a shortcut back that way, but you can't miss this view.
there are horseshoes in the street.
Oh wow, that's cool. Neat.
Those are old.
Off to Telegraph and off to Quiddy. But man, you could spend some time at Wolf, couldn't you? Look at that. Woo. I don't know if you can tell, but this is one of the steeper ones.
Why is there a trail down there?
Hunter Brook, just a little bit before Telegraph. We're going to stop here and have a nice big break and relax. And then climb up over this and down into Telegraph and then up over the last big climb before we head toward Quiddy. Woo! Descending into Telegraph Brook. Not very far from where we stopped for lunch, but I will say the descent here, parts of it, were the sketchiest we've had so far. So, beautiful spot, look at that. This is another place with a privy and probably a bear box. Very popular. We're just gonna cross over here and head up the other side.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, bear box and a privy. Give you a shot of the falls here in a minute before we head up the other side. But first, let's have a look at this. Coming into Quiddy River, or as we're going to call it today, Quitty River. We're done. We's done. So, a couple long days ahead of us though to get out on Sunday. But it's a lovely little spot. And there's nobody here so far, which is nice. We'll get our pick of a nice flat spot like we had last time. Well, as you can see, busy night at camp. Quiddy River is a favorite spot, and it's very, very small. It's also primitive, so no privy, no outhouse, and no bear box. And Olivia's over in the tent. Evelyn's here, using our inReach to message Mom. Tell her I love her. Okay. And a little solar charging. And I just wanted to show you, I know I've talked about shaving and stuff in the past, so just real quickly, when you do longer trips, and this isn't one of them, but when you do longer trips, you have to take care of yourself. And one of the things I like to bring along is a disposable razor and a little tube of shaving cream. And the shaving cream I use is the Harry's brand. It's really good. It goes on easy, and even in cold water, like I'm about to use, it cleans up very well. We also like to use the Dr. Bronner's. Everybody uses Dr. It is amazing, but we use the unscented version because in grizzly country, you're just kind of worried about smelling like mint or something interesting to a bear. So not worried as much about black bears, even though they are curious. But and so we use those. We use the Dr. Bronner's for other cleaning with these light load towels, and they are light. This weighs nothing, and when you wet it, it puffs up to a towel like this, which you can put in the washing machine, which dries out quickly on a line in camp, and it's just fantastic. Last thing I'll show you is on days when you're in a hurry, really like these. These are made of viscose. They're compostable, which means they'll break down really well. And These are also unscented. No scents in bear country. That's the rule. So I'm gonna spare you watching me shave, and we'll check in with you a bit later once we've cleaned up a bit. Okay, this will probably be our last food video for this trip, even though we're out again tomorrow night. Evie, what you having? The chicken fried rice, always a hit. Liv, what do you got over there? Lasagna. That's what I'm having tomorrow night, which is why there's no need to show you what we're eating tomorrow night, because
It's like the same.
now you've seen our entire menu this trip. Chicken fajita bowl, which Olivia had, I think, what, on night one? Yeah, so we're going to have our dinner and get ready for tomorrow. Another long day, early day, to try to time the tide and get as far as we can. Olivia, 8.
Fish.
Your turn.
2.
Go fish. Well, that's the end of day 3. Okay. Thank you. End of day 3 is a great day. Up early and out, hard walk. We made it back to Quitty River, where we quitty for the day. Had a lovely dinner. Libby's doing her hair right now, so she's not with us. And met some really nice guys who we shared a campfire with that are here hiking through to the other end. One fellow's doing it in 3 days, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool accomplishment. Plan for tomorrow is Rose Brook for sure, and if we feel up to it, another 2.5, 3K to the end of the trail. The end of the Fundy Footpath with its primitive campground, and that sets us up for the hike out through Fundy National Park on Sunday. It's going to rain overnight Saturday night and all of Sunday, so we'll be heading out in the rain. So if we can shorten that by 2.5K to 3K tomorrow, we might. But again, it just depends on our pace and catching the tide at Goose. So that's the end of day 3. See you tomorrow. Morning, day 4. Big day today. Probably our longest day yet. So we're going to get moving fast and get across this river, up the hill, which we know is going to be steep, and then off to get the tide as soon as possible at Goose. Cross over and get to Rose Brook. If we get to Rose Brook and it's early enough, we'll probably do another 2.5 to 3K and get to that primitive campsite at the border of Fundy National Park and the Fundy Footpath, which will officially complete our Fundy Footpath trek. And then it's just a hike out tomorrow to the car. So, as usual, quick boil of some water for coffee and oatmeal, pack this up and get moving. We started our rather brutal climb out of Quitty River. This is one of the most unhappy sections for me. Very steep. And the trail's obvious here, but there's some, in this whole section there's some orange markings. I don't know what they're for, if they're property lines or whether they're old trail markings before the white ones came out. You know, we're employed, I should say. I mean, there are white ones too, but just something to keep an eye on in this section. We've done the big steep part out of Quitty. This road goes down to Martin Head. Lots of four-wheelers come out. I suppose you get a truck out here too. Really busy on the weekends with folks enjoying the views and their libations. We are actually going to head down that way downhill now, and then uphill and downhill into Brandy Brook, and then uphill and then downhill into Goose, and then we're going to wait for the tide. Hopefully we'll be there to catch the earliest tide, earliest possible crossing. I think the tide today is just after 3, so 2 hours before, just after 1. If we can get there and get across right at the first chance, then that gives us a chance to get to Rose Brook quicker, and then assess whether we want to stay at Rose or head up that hill and make our way to the primitive campsite right at the border, the end of the Fundy Footpath and Fundy National Park, which would set us up much better in the rain tomorrow to get out of here. So lots to decide. It all depends on when we get to Goose. Pretty sure we're heading down there. That's, from my recollection, that's Goose. I could be totally wrong, but I hope I'm not.
No, you're right.
I think I'm right, and that's where we're heading. We have to go through the brook here and then back up and then across and down. So if we get there early, we'll take a nice long break and wait for the tide. Woohoo! Coming into Brandy Brook.
We've been here before.
We know this spot. We sat and had lunch here one day. One big climb left, and then across and down into Goose for our wait for the tide. Hopefully a nice break there. Be a shot of this.
It's a nice little campsite.
Nice little spot here for sitting. Somebody took the time to do that. Always appreciated. Sit in the proper position. And get across here. I'll show you well, we're not going to really see the camping area because I think it's over there. So you see the blue over in that direction. So there were folks here last night, actually. We met them on the trail. This was kind of our long shoot yesterday if we felt good, but I'm glad we stayed where we did. But this is a little piece of paradise. This climb out of Brandy is long and tough, and it's rough. They've done good work here since the last time I was here, fixing some spots, but yeah, it's she's a tough one. All right, coming down into Goose Creek, where we're going to have a nice break. Earliest time we can cross is probably around 1 o'clock. Might be able to push that a little sooner. Just really depends. We'll get over there and have a look. That's an hour and a half from now. Now there is a bit of a walk from here up to the crossing point, so we'll leave a little early. But this is one of the more popular places. I'll show you around when we get in here.
Really is. It's quite beautiful.
It's gorgeous. View of Martin Head, view of that face on the rocks.
Right on the beach.
There is an outhouse here. Lots of little spots. One thing I will say is I just heard an ATV in here rambling around, and they come up here from Martin Head, especially at low tide. And I'm not against ATVs. My dad's got one, you know, etc. But when you are trying to have a wilderness experience, hearing that thing revving and running and going kind of yanks,
there's the head.
kind of yanks you back into civilization. So we're going to take packs off here. We'll be here for a bit. We'll go out to the beach and I'll show you around here in just a few minutes.
Please don't leave your trash.
Just a short walk from the campsite. Oh, there's the tracks I was mentioning earlier. Just a short walk out. It's the ocean. The tide is starting to go out, so
We were over there this morning.
yeah, we started past there this morning. You can see I don't know if you can see this or not, but that's Martin Head, and there's tents out there on the beach. We passed all that this morning. You can see the tide is going out. There's a black line or dark line there. And if you look this way, and GoPro's not going to pick this up. In fact, I got to kind of walk this way maybe to get it better, but there's a face kind of chiseled out of that rock there. So this is a lovely spot.
It really is. It
Yeah.
might be one of the best. I mean, I like Quiddy,
Yeah, Quiddy's good.
but this is probably like the most well-run. It's literally amazing. Like, I would swim, except we have no time.
We don't have any time.
And
It's
freezing.
very rocky. Now, later, when we leave the campsite here, you have to kind of follow this up and go around the corner and then cross way over there. And you won't see this on the GoPro, but I can see it. There's a white dot way off in the distance down there. And that is the trail. And I gotta tell you, I'm looking at this now and I don't think we're gonna have to wait till 1:10. I'm pretty sure that the tide's going out so quickly and the water levels are pretty low that we could probably cross early. So we're gonna have a little bit of a hot snack now and then maybe head on up there. I almost made it through an entire hike without a soapbox. I did just give you a thumbs down a couple minutes ago. Look at that. This is the bear box. Look at this. Look at all this. Cans. Come on, really? A tarp. Really? Tin foil. So, oh, some people try to burn that. That's intelligent. I mean, rope. I might take that. But look at this. If I had the space, I'd pack this out for people. But somebody's got to come in and pack it out, like leaving sunscreen. This is the bear box. That's really, really not cool. Shouldn't be hiking if you're doing stuff like that. Sorry, you don't belong out here. All right, rant over.
What were you ranting about?
The bear box is full of garbage.
Aw. So just a quick public service announcement. There's a lot of trash in here. And it...
Wait a minute, that's a bear box. Why would there be trash in there?
I know. Basically, people like to leave trash in here because they don't want to carry it out, or they're coming in with ATVs, they don't want to lug it back out. Bear boxes are used to keep animals away from your food, and so if you leave trash, it kind of like attracts squirrels. Like we had a squirrel try and bite through Olivia's backpack because it's been, you know, getting food, or people have been feeding it. And this can attract, you know, bears, which is dangerous. And also, this trail is completely funded by volunteers. Like everything
it's
here.
funded by a lot of people, but it's maintained by volunteers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely.
And they don't have a lot of funding because they basically raise money through the guides.
The guides, exactly. Yeah. And so, I mean, we're really fortunate to be out here. I mean, this view is really great, and the trail's in really great shape to be maintained 100% by volunteers. And, I mean, I don't know how expensive these are, but I mean, it's all metal. So, you really got to be respectful about the everything that the volunteers do. So don't leave your trash, be respectful of the campsite, and just practice carry in, carry out, leave no trace.
We just left. We had a really nice hot lunch, very odd for us. We had about 4 ATVs go by and freshly churn up this mud for us, which I thought was nice. They were nice guys, yeah, but you know, they do damage the trail. So we're gonna head up now. The tide's already low enough, I think, to cross, and by the time we get up there, whatever it is, 400 meters or half a kilometer at this pace because of this mud, it'll be great to go. And off we go. Rosebrook, or the end of the trail. Well, there's the trail. Giant white mark in that tree. And a little deeper here. So I won't show you this because it's a bit slippery. But we're way ahead of low tide. In fact, we're way ahead of the window that I thought we needed. So off we go. Descent down into Jim Brook. I wonder if Jim is related to Rosebrook, which is the next one over. Actually, a nice little camping spot here. This is a gem. Primitive, of course, but that's fine. Prefer those actually to outhouses. But this is the little gem. Little pad over there, some water. Almost fell. Oh, there we go. Beautiful, thank you. We're gonna have a break here and head up the hill to Rosebrook. 4K to the end's not bad. We're almost to Rosebrook, which we have to, it's a pretty rugged descent down in there. We're gonna take a break and then assess. Original plan was to go to Rose and just do it. But with rain coming overnight and a good chunk of it forecast, Evelyn's suggestion is, you know, maybe we push on to the border, the end of the Fundy Footpath at Goose River, where there's a primitive campsite at the end of the Fundy Footpath, which we may be able to squeeze in there if there's nobody else there. And then we don't have to do the uphill slippery roots and mud after it raining all night tomorrow morning. So from a safety perspective, that's probably a good idea, but we also have to think about how we feel after what'll be somewhere in the, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 kilometer day for us, which on this trail for us is, you know, a lot. So. Descent into Rosebrook. Somebody's built a lean-to.
I've never seen one of these. I'm going in.
We're going to take a short break here and assess our next move. And decide whether or not we're staying here or heading to the primitive at the border, kilometer 0. Nice shot here though, it's a beautiful spot. Really nice. Really nice spot. So there is a bear box here. The outhouse was basically destroyed last year in the spring. So it's gone. It hasn't been replaced yet. All right, figure out what we're gonna do. That lean-to is very interesting, and that blue tarp is not. I can't pack that out. I don't have the space for that actually, because I've packed out a bunch of other stuff already. There was a lot of garbage at this campsite actually. I took a little bit more, but I'm full up. So sorry to all the volunteers, but I took what I could for the girls. So the decision was made by the ladies to head up. We're going to go to the primitive campsite at kilometer 0 and hope there's room for us, because oddly enough there's somebody ahead of us. We knew we heard people earlier, but anyway, one last look at Rosebrook. Coming down to kilometer 0, the Fundy Footpath. And there's the primitive campsites over here. There's your Widowmaker. We're probably going to camp up in there and get our water down here in the Goose River. Keep walking, Liv. We'll get a shot of that kilometer 0 sign that used to be here. Hope it's still here.
No, there's one right down there.
Okay, we're going to come down here. I remember it from last year. Lots of room at the inn here tonight, which is great. We're a little later than usual.
There it is, the kilometer 0 sign.
Okay, there's Goose River across there, Fundy National Park.
I remember this. Right here.
And there it is, Fundy Footpath, kilometer 0. Wow.
Yeah.
We're gonna get set up over here in the camping area and break down our day in a few minutes. We are finished the Fundy Footpath. 41 kilometers, 4 days, little less than 4 days, 3 nights. We took it easy until today because we wanted to finish. And you may be wondering, why are we still in a tent? Well, the Fundy Footpath ends basically on the border with Fundy National Park, and the only way out is to hike through Fundy National Park. And I'm guessing it's going to be just under 10K tomorrow to hike across the Fundy Connector, because the tides don't work for us. And also to then hike the Goose River Trail in Fundy National Park back to the trailhead.
That could also be the beginning if you're hiking it the other way.
For most people, that would be how you start. You would come into Point Wolf and start there and head over here where we are. Now we're just at the border in a primitive campground right at mile marker 0. So we'll show you that tomorrow and kind of wrap things up for you when we get to the trailhead.
Rating and stuff.
Yeah, we'll kind of give you a quick review. And if I have time tomorrow in the rain, I'll talk a little bit about the trip planning for this hike that we did last year and that we did again this year, and just kind of take you through that, because we actually met lots of folks on the trail who had lots of questions. So if I can, in the rain, we'll do that while we walk tomorrow. So
we can do that in the description too.
We can probably do that in the description if we have to too. So that's the end of day 4. We'll see you in the morning. Good morning, day 5, our final day as we hike out through the Fundy Connector and Fundy National Park on the Goose River Trail. Rained overnight, it's going to be a wet one. I think for the girls this is their first day that they've really hiked in the rain, which is hard to believe that they've had that kind of luck in all the hiking they've done, but it's true. So we're gonna get dressed in the tent. No coffee this morning. Gonna have a cold breakfast and get out of here. Hopefully beat the heavy rain. So we're gonna get packed up and get up and at 'em. We are underway, saying goodbye to the Fundy Footpath and hello to Fundy National Park. Not too bad of a walk to get to Goose River campsite area where the connector connects with the Goose River Trail. A little drizzle this morning, which is nice. Compared to rain. So we're heading over that way and onward. My recollection is that last time we walked down there through these meadows, but you know, I don't remember everything clearly. This looks like a new trail. I mean, it's a trail of some sort. We haven't seen any blazes at all, although to be honest, having hiked the Fundy circuit, there aren't a lot of blazes in Fundy National Park at all. Occasional little square hiker sign pounded on a tree, and that's maybe you'll get a fluorescent ribbon sometimes, but because the trails are usually so obvious, there's not much to look at. But we are following the path that we need to follow, so this must be a new trail because I don't remember it from last year. Well, this is all new from last year. This is quite something. So there's some old trail there, you know, but this next section coming up is the one that I've been dreading because last year it was incredibly rough and steep and typical Fundy Footpath style. But I can look over here now and even see that they've done work here as well. So, and this is I don't remember this being the crossing either at all. So bravo, this is really excellent. All right, this is the new trail, the new Fundy connector to the Fundy Footpath connector. This takes you down to Goose River, some of the campsites, as does this. There's actually people up there in a blue tent, so we'll keep our voices down. Last year when we started, the old Fundy Footpath connector, you can see right here, Fundy Footpath 2.1 kilometers was through the woods that way. Let me just show you. Yeah, through there. Now that's still marked. They haven't changed the markings yet. But this is a much better and quicker and easier hike. So we're gonna hang out right here, have a little sit break, some nice water coming out of this pipe, and then we'll be on our way down the Goose River Trail to the trailhead. If you can see in purple here, this is our track today, this purple track. This is the new Fundy Footpath connector, which is quite something actually. These are the old tracks here, the blue and the red. And this is a nice section actually here, nice and smooth, but you've more than made up for it over here where it got really, really steep, and today would have been very slippery. So nice new connector. It's a Sunday, so there's no activity, but trail crews are out and busy here this year, as we've already seen. Pretty cool. Oh, there's a bobcat, like I was mentioning earlier. Thought that's what they might be using. That's a cute little dude. This must be access down into the new coastal trail. I'm just guessing, but I can't see why else they'd have that here. Probably building some bridges or something with this lumber. So, just an update on the weather. There's blue sky up there. So even though it rained overnight, and we've had rain overnight before, the girls are still dry as a bone. Every day of hiking they've ever done, which has got to be a record because they've done so much now. What do you think, Evie? Maybe the reckoning will come sometime soon. Taking a quick break here. Just wanted to mention little trip planning stuff. So first thing you need to do if you're going to hike this Fundy Footpath is to go onto Facebook, if you're on Facebook, and find the, I think they're now called the Fundy Trails Hiking Association. Find their Facebook page. They also have a website. Website has some information, but not a ton. You'll get a lot more off the Facebook page. One of the reasons there's not a lot of info on their website is because the guides, the books that talk about the Dobson and the Fundy Footpath are their main source of revenue at this point. So it's nice to buy those and support the volunteers who come out and keep these trails open for us. That said, the Fundy Footpath, the current, as of today, whatever today is, June 23rd or 4th or whatever it is, it's still out, it's very outdated, and they're doing a new one. The new Dobson one just came out, so we expect the new Fundy Footpath one soon. That'll be a lot better.
24th.
It's the 24th, yeah. So we expect that any time. So do buy those. Do support the Trails Association, and we'd like to thank all the volunteers because you know, we use the trail for basically the cost of a book, and that's pretty awesome. Also want to do a quick shout out to, is it Patrick? Patrick and his white dog from Pennsylvania, who we met, who had seen some of our videos, including some here from the Fundy Footpath that he used to kind of look at campsites and stuff. That was pretty cool. That was the first time that anyone had ever noticed us on the trail from our videos, so it was a little bit like, what?
Who?
Hey, who? And then, and then the same day we met 3 ladies whose names I didn't get.
They were really nice.
They were really, really nice. They were all heading in the opposite direction, of course, and they'd watched our videos too. So that was like twice in one day. And
So hi.
So hi to everybody.
ladies.
Glad these help. They're fun to do, and I'm glad they help. That's really cool. So our quick break, and then my parents at the trailhead, and then real food, which will be kind of fun. For me, maybe it's the year of the slug. To the intersection of the Marvin Lake Trail, which goes up that way, and another old cart path. When we did the Fundy Circuit, we went out that way and went to Chambers Lake, the loudest lake I've ever stayed at, with beautiful frogs. So yeah, we are here. We've come from way out here, and this is what we did before, is we came in here and we stayed at Chambers, and then we continued on when we did the circuit. So pretty much all downhill from here to Point Wolf, where we'll wrap things up. I think this is the turn, if memory serves, down into the Point Wolf parking lot, which is the official end of our Fundy Footpath hike.
And the extension, of course.
And the extension, because there's really no way to get to the footpath unless you do this walk. So it's weird trying to rate the footpath because Fundy National Park is a big part of the access to it. So
Yeah, we're here.
we are here. So we will get organized.
Woohoo!
Oh yeah, look, there it is. We just came from Goose River in the connector this morning. We've seen lots of day hikers and bikers and all kinds of folks. So, all right, we're gonna go down here to the trailhead, congratulate ourselves, and check in with you after we do that. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're finished, so the big question is, how's the hike on the Fundy Footpath? Olivia?
I am gonna give the overall hike a 6 because it was really hard and I don't really like to walk, but I do this anyway. But I wanted to give the maintenance of the trail and like how well the volunteers do like an 8, 9-ish, because like they seriously do all of it volunteer work. Those people are beasts. They go in there like
Right.
amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yep. Evie?
I'd give the overall trail a 7.5. Cause I'm probably more of like, well, there were a lot of woods hiking and a lot of kind of the same thing, and it's really quite difficult. And not a lot of payoff for the amount of work you do, but the trail maintenance was a flat out like 10. I mean, these people are volunteers, and they have some serious determination to carry in bear boxes and build bridges, and the only funding they're getting is from the guidebooks, so it's really great.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. At the time we're doing this video in June of 2018, only funding they get are from the guidebooks for the Dobson and the Fundy Footpath. So, you know, please buy those.
Yeah.
Certainly going to give the trail maintenance folks and all the volunteers that run the association a 10. It's hard work. It's thankless work. You know, you go out there and you find garbage in bear boxes that you've hauled in by hand and stuff. It's just, you know, they're very dedicated, and we really appreciate it. From a hike perspective, you know, the St. Martin's end is getting pretty developed, so you don't really get a sense of isolation there.
Which is
There are
sometimes
some
good thing.
there are some beautiful views along the way of the ocean and the Bay of Fundy, but for the amount of work and a lot of inland hiking, I'm going to give it an 8.
Well, you're a mountain person too.
I am a mountain person
Yeah.
for sure, but I'll give it an 8, just because. Just because. But if you're going to hike it, I suggest you get out and hike it really soon, because it's getting very, very busy. We saw so many people on this trail on a Wednesday in June.
Yeah, it was so weird.
And it was very odd. We thought we'd be pretty isolated from a hiker perspective. It's great to see hikers out there, but if you're looking for that kind of experience, you best get out soon. So as always, if you have any questions, leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching.